I'm Tyler Day with Common Cause North Carolina, and these are the 5 things you need to know this week in North Carolina politics.
Number 1. The Republican-controlled North Carolina legislature recently imposed new gerrymandered congressional and state legislative voting districts that were drawn in secret. In this edition of 5 Things to Know, we'll take a closer look at how these new districts impact voters and communities in our state. Before we start, a quick note that this information is provided for public education only. The analysis here reflects that generated by the Dave's Redistricting App program, also known as DRA. It does not constitute an opinion or an endorsement of these maps by Common Cause. The first thing you need to know about these maps is that they are blatant gerrymanders. The legislators who led the redistricting process publicly admitted to drawing the maps to keep themselves in power. According to an analysis by Dave's Redistricting App, each of the 3 maps are less competitive and more skewed in favor of one party. Dave's Redistricting App uses the results from recent prior elections to predict how the maps may perform in an actual election. According to DRA, the new 2024 congressional map will likely result in 10 Republicans and 3 Democrats being elected, with one toss-up seat in the northeast part of the state, which slightly leans Democratic. North Carolina is currently represented in the U.S. House of Representatives by 7 Republicans and 7 Democrats. The same analyses of the House and Senate maps project a state Senate with 30 Republicans and 20 Democrats, and a state House with 71 Republicans and 49 Democrats. Remember, this is a prediction based on past election data, but changes in voter turnout, particularly in the House and Senate maps, which have smaller districts, could have a significant effect on the outcome. Number 2. Let's talk about the cracking of voting districts and the Triad and the Sandhills. Voters have frequently urged the legislature to keep the Triad cities together and to give the Sandhills their own congressional district. Not only did legislators not adhere to these concerns, they cracked both the Triad and the Sandhills between multiple congressional districts. Triad cities are separated from each other and paired with far-off rural and suburban areas as far west as the Tennessee border and as far south as the Charlotte suburbs. Fayetteville has been cracked between 2 congressional districts, with one that stretches to Burlington and Greensboro several miles to the north, and another that runs south to Wilmington. Robeson and Scotland counties are in a district that pairs them with the Charlotte suburbs, including Mint Hill, Matthews, and Concord. Number 3. Now let's look at the Black Belt in northeastern North Carolina. In the Senate map, Districts 1 and 2 crack the Black Belt by separating the communities in the northeastern part of the state. There are concerns that racially polarized voting may be taking place in this region of the state. In a nutshell, this means white voters and minority voters vote for different candidates. Because of these voting patterns and how the districts were drawn to separate black voters, this could make it nearly impossible for black voters in this part of the state to elect their candidates of choice. Not only that, but the drawing of District 2 creates a Senate district that stretches all the way from Warren County in Norlina, near the Virginia border, down to Carteret County in Morehead City and Emerald Isle in the southern portion of the Outer Banks. Number 4. Next, we turn to the state's major metro areas. In the House and Senate maps, many of the most significant changes took place in the urban and suburban areas. Many of the new districts exclude precincts with high Democratic vote shares or high black voting age populations. Examples of this include Senate District 26 in Rockingham and Guilford County, represented by Senator Phil Berger, which now wraps all the way around Greensboro and Summerfield, or Senate District 21 in Moore and Cumberland counties, represented by Senator Tom McInnes, which wraps around most of Fayetteville. Another striking example of this is in Buncombe County, in which House District 115, represented by Representative Lindsey Prather, has been reconfigured into a hook shape, wrapping around Asheville. According to the Dave's Redistricting App analysis, the result is a district that once favored Democrats by 12 points now favors Republicans by 8 points. Another striking example is in Mecklenburg County, with House District 105, which includes Representative Tricia Cotham. Representative Cotham's previous district favored Democrats by 22 points. It included Mint Hill and was compact. District 105 now splits Mint Hill and Matthews and runs further west into portions of southern Charlotte. District 105 now favors Republicans by 5 points. Number 5. So where will the most competitive elections be in 2024? No one can know for sure, but there are some districts that Dave's Redistricting predicts could be the closest. On the congressional map, the most competitive seat is District 1. The Northeast Congressional District, currently represented by Representative Don Davis, a Democrat. This district, which includes the historic Black Belt of northeastern North Carolina, now excludes Pitt County and extends further east to include Currituck County and Camden County. The result is a district with a slightly lower Black voting age population and a higher share of Republican-leaning voters. On the state House map, House District 5, also in northeastern North Carolina, currently represented by Republican Representative Bill Ward, may be the most competitive district. This district is unchanged from 2022 and includes Camden, Pasquotank, Hertford, and Gates counties. And on the state Senate map, the new district, Senate District 13, which includes much of southern Wake County, but also extends to the north to include portions of Knightdale, looks quite competitive. The district includes much of what is currently represented by Senator Sidney Batch, a Democrat, in District 17. Batch won that district in 2022, but the new district is not as compact and has been drawn to be more favorable to Republicans.
And those were the 5 things to know this week in North Carolina politics. To dive deeper into the maps and see how they affect your community, check out our summaries of the Dave's Redistricting App analyses on our website, commoncausенc.org.